So we're back for another season of Sister Wives. Can you tease any major revelations that fans will see unfold this season?
Well, you get to meet David.
You can meet David. I don't know if that's a tease because everyone's kind of met him. You actually get to hear what he sounds like because people have just been seeing clips. I guess for our wedding, you're going to see our story unfold and how we came together. And he really says the most beautiful, amazing things. So, so sweet. Just that, yours is pretty exciting too.
So I'm definitely entering the second chapter of my life and I'm embracing it in a very big way. So some really exciting things going on.
I think we're both more independent now than we ever were before, and it seems like we have all of these adventures now, and life is about this adventure. I think that's what we have going on for us.
Yeah. I know you're talking about embracing this next chapter of your life. How are you both redefining what being a sister wife is in these new chapters of your life?
We had the best phone call the other day. I called her and we figured some things out, and what we realized is it's about we each have our independent lives, but then we also need to make sure we still do things together because we love doing things together.
Yeah, but life is starting to take us such different directions.
It is.
And it had been a few weeks and we were starting to get all I don't know, you start making up stories in your head about the other person or whatever, So it was good. We just decided we needed to actually talk, not text.
Yeah.
And actually make it a point to spend some more time together because we still are always going to be together when the kids are together, but it was important to us that we maintain our relationship.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, I think when we left the family, we were like, oh, are we sister wives?
I know, I was uncomfortable with the term sister wife. Are we going to be sister wives? But then we went on that trip together. We did a trip together with Savannah and Truly, just the four of us, and we went on a trip, and it was really cemented that we're sister wives and we're staying together and we're just going to raise our kids together. And then, we had more grandkids together, so that was always a bonus.
And I love your friendship. It seems like you are both so close. I do have to ask, though, are there any shocking moments that are going to unfold this season? I know in reality TV, there's always some twists and turns.
Well, I am actually shocked on every episode that I've watched.
I was
There's been
just gonna
things.
say, well, because
wait, what?
Kody Brown just has a lot of interesting things to say
Yes.
that I'm always like, wow.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So stay tuned for that.
Wow.
Every episode, pretty much.
There's some things that he says and some things that, whatever. You find out a lot about how people feel about you when I'm like, I didn't know that about myself. That's very interesting. I got some shockers.
Now, that brings us into my next question. In a recent episode, Kody said that there's a rift between him and his kids because of, quote, rumors.
I know.
What are both of your opinions
Okay,
on that?
can I please? I need to absolutely set this straight because Kody always wants to pin the blame on somebody else, and that's really, truly my opinion. He leaks like a sieve. He gossips more than anybody else in the whole entire family. He told me everything.
I know. What I've heard that he told you, I'm like, you know what? I wish I wasn't on that before.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I just feel like it's him, starting to he's always trying to place the blame somewhere else. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. He may think differently. But the kids, he's still very estranged from his children, which is a very hard thing, I think.
But they have these things, I don't know if you've heard of them, but you put them up to your ear and you can actually talk to people. Oh, it's like this now.
And they can be around the world even.
Yeah, they can. And they all have
You can
them.
also write little messages to them.
You can on these devices that you can hold here or here. And they all have them, and so does he. So it's up to him to develop a relationship with his kids. If there's a rift there or whatever there, that's on him.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of the relationships that I have. He is in charge of the relationships that he has, and I think he forgets that.
Well, that also brings me to my follow-up question is, what's the status of his relationship with his kids today? I know you mentioned they're still estranged. Has there been any updates? Do you think there's any hope for reconciliation? Or is that mostly just on him to maybe reach out more?
I feel like there would need to be a lot of healing, and I think he actually would probably need to make more than just one phone call or one text. My kids are not really paying attention to him at this point when he tries to call once and then doesn't call again. I think it could be done. Maybe. I don't know. The person he is now, I don't foresee that. But, everybody changes. It's possible. It's possible.
And Robyn was trying to get him to talk to the kids. Are you glad she's trying to help facilitate mending this relationship with the kids, or what did you think of that?
Look, I really don't have any problem. I don't, I don't really know how their life is or what they're doing. But, I think it's important for him to have people in his life saying, because these are your kids, regardless of at the end of the day. I think you need to have at least some sort of peace or understanding with your parents, whether it's a relationship or not. So I think it's healthy, right? Emotionally, mentally. I'm hoping whatever voice he listens to, whatever it takes, I do hope at some point he's able to sort of overcome this big barrier. But as the time goes by, it just gets bigger and bigger. So I don't know.
Yeah. Robyn also said that she's losing respect for Kody in a recent episode due to everything that's going on with the kids and the family rift. Were you shocked by hearing that?
I think there's been a lot. I mean, he lost 3 wives in 2 years. So I imagine there's a lot of personal turmoil and things that are hard for him. And of course, that's going to go into every facet of his life for sure. But I think you're right in that I think he listens to Robyn. I think he's been listening to Robyn for a long time. And I think if anybody can sway him, it would be her. And so for her to say that had to really just maybe be the right thing to hear. And I hope it helps. I hope it makes the change. I hope he starts picking up the phone. I hope it works.
Well, and I think you've made a point to me, like, I mean, he's had a lot of change, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that that's created a lot of personal growth and personal challenge. I mean, I'm sure they see it in their relationship too. I have no idea. I don't really associate with them. But I'm sure there's challenges in their marriage just because of the big changes, right?
Well,
in the family dynamic.
Yeah, and then you brought up too, like in the church that we used to belong to, if a guy loses 3 wives in 2 years, that says a lot there.
It's considered a big failure.
Yeah, so he's gone through a lot. I can't imagine. He's probably at an all-time low.
Yeah. And that kind of leads into my next question. I know that you both are so close with each other, but where do your relationships stand with Kody, Robyn, and Meri today?
I don't talk to like any of them really. Like I know probably as much as you know. And so just I wish them the best. I hope they have success. You know, I hope that Meri finds whatever she's looking for. Absolutely. You know, I think that there's I just hope she finds what she needs, you know, definitely.
You know, I will say, like, I really don't keep tabs on them. There was a couple of times you'll see in this upcoming season that Meri and I actually did come together kind of on a common note. And I've never had any ill will. I just didn't really have much in common with her. And really, I'm like you. I'm like, please, I just wish you guys all peace. Like, there's no bad blood here. There's no hurt feelings, really. I'm just peace.
Now, on a happy note, as we talked about earlier, Christine, we're seeing your relationship with David unfold on the screen. How does it feel having your love story being shown for everyone to see?
It's crazy. It's so funny.
Okay, you have to know, a lot of times when I'm watching the clip, I'm like, fast forward. Because it's like, I hang out with you guys so much. I don't need to see all that. Like, fast forward. Like, I'm like, whatever. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause it's like, I just know you guys as people. Now I understand when people come to us and they're like, I don't watch the show now that I know you. I'm like, I get it, because now I'm watching you and David. I'm like, I don't want to.
A lot more PDA than people are. And I'm like, well, we're a lot more friendly than I thought, babe. I had no idea. I get uncomfortable with watching it sometimes. Oh my gosh. It's fun to watch David. So this is all new to him. And he'd watched the show before. He'd watched clips of it and different things of it, enough that he kind of knew the premise of it sometimes. And I always ask him, like, was I your favorite on the show? I need to know if I was your favorite.
Oh, you better say yes.
I know. I'm like, this is really tough. He's like, look, I never actually, like, I just, and he does his best, but he's like, yes, of course you were my favorite. What do you want? You know, anyway, he's great. But him to watch it, me watching the show through his eyes, and watching our relationship through his eyes has been what I've really loved. Because it's all new to him. So it's new to him, and he's like, oh, did you see that? And then he goes, same thing, he's like, I don't know if I like that shirt on me anymore. I'm like, I know, babe.
That's the hardest thing, right? When you first see yourself on the screen, you're like, oh.
Yeah, he goes, I can't wear that shirt anymore. Why'd you let me wear that? I'm like, I think it's fine.
That is so funny. That's like the funniest thing to notice. Now, Janelle, I know this season you've been adamant that you're not ready to date. Is that still true today?
Yeah, like I actually, look, I haven't dated in like 30 plus years. So the dating scene is very, very different. And I just, I'm not really interested in what the dating scene looks like now. And honestly, right now, I'm just finally stepping into a life I've always wanted. And what if I met somebody and they said you can't do that anymore? I'd be like, no, I'm just not going to do that. I'm just like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not looking. Like, if it happens organically, okay. But, you know, it's got to be like those TV movies where, like, like it's some guy who comes home or like and has a lot of money and he's going to live in a small town or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know.
And
Whatever.
it's got to be right there. It's got to work
And
out
he's got to look like
magically.
Sam Elliott or whatever.
Sound at least like him too, right?
I sound like him.
A guy from the big city moving to a small town
Yeah, sure.
happens
Exactly.
to find love.
Yes, right.
That would be
You
fun.
know, hey, great, sign me up for that. But I'm not looking for sure.
Yeah, yeah. If you were though to find an ideal partner, like what traits would you be looking for? Not saying that you like need a partner, but if you were to find
Six-pack
someone.
abs, it's the most important thing to have.
And nice pecs.
Rock hard abs.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just known you for so long. I figured
You know, for me, it really is about the ability to just talk about things. Like I'm very much about that intellectual connection as well as the emotional connection.
For
100%.
sure. No, that totally makes sense. Now I have to.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Six-pack abs never hurt. They never hurt.
Well, yeah.
conversation is a lot more helpful.
Now, I have to say, reality TV is having like a major moment right now. In addition to Sister Wives, people are loving the show called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Oh.
Have either of you seen this or heard of
Okay,
this?
my friends are telling me about this. So yeah, it's so interesting that like Mormon wives are interesting. So these guys are like actually like they're really dramatic. It's pretty great. And it's in Salt Lake. It's pretty great.
Wait, they're
They're-
probably
they're
my
yo-
neighbors. Are they like, they're probably like...
They're like younger
close.
women, and they were big on TikTok, and they had some scandals with their husbands, and the show is pretty salacious.
Yeah,
What?
it is. I know in Salt
I
Lake.
know nothing about it.
In Salt Lake.
No. I was in the dating scene, and I do know what happens in Salt Lake now. I actually am very fully aware what swingers look like and what like open marriages look like. I found all of that out when I was dating. It's rampant in Utah. Rampant.
That
It's
was
huge.
actually my next question, because the show like blew up this term called soft swinging, which is something that some of the wives were like, and the husbands, it was something that was going on. What do you think of that? Like, is that something you've heard of? Like,
I just, yeah.
It's not for me.
No.
I'm a monogamous now. And that's really what I like.
I just
not
no.
interested in the...
No.
No.
To me, I feel like that relationship is so special, right? And I'm sorry if it's not about a thrill. If the connection is obviously broken, you don't have a connection if that's happening.
So I don't know. I have to say that I've talked to enough people where they're happy with what they're doing and it works for them and that's what they want to do and that's fine. I just know that it's not I just am not into I like monogamy a lot. And I like knowing and feeling secure with what I have, and I know what my role is, and I know that I'm safe and secure. And I think it's just different for different people. And I don't know, I met a lot of people who, like, they were fine, and it wasn't an emotional attachment, it was just the physical part, but they had the real emotional attachment with their wife and whatever, and it was very eye-opening. And whatever they want to do, but I'm going to watch that. I have no idea. I'm going to watch that.
it's good. It's pretty.
That sounds really
It's
good.
pretty wild.
I grew up in like this Salt Lake that was so very conservative. Like Salt Lake to me still seems very conservative, and it's just crazy to me. Like I'm like, no.
Why do you think there's like such a interest in this type of show now?
The wives,
the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Oh.
Sister Wives in general.
Like the wives shows have always been like the New York Wives, the Orange County Wives, whatever, all those. I was talking about this. I'm like, it's so interesting to me because when I do entertainment, it has to be all light and fluffy and everybody wins good things. And like, I can't do drama, man. But like, there's a big part of this drama. It must be escape for people.
I think it's escape.
I think it's escape.
So our escape was different because we had such a dramatic life, everything dramatic that we
there was
lived.
a
We
lot
lived so
of
much drama. So I preferred things that were completely nothing that I would do. So you look at, is it something that they would never ever do and it's like a taboo thing, or is it something they actually really want to do? You know, you don't know. I think there's a huge like spectrum or something like that. It's interesting.
Now this is like totally like PG, like a thing that came out of the show too. People trying these things called dirty sodas. Have you both tried those?
Those are great.
Yes.
Wait, is that where they mix all the different kinds of soda together?
It's like soda with creamer and
it's
flavors.
so weird. Yeah, it's really weird. Like
the dirty drinks are fun.
Yeah, like it's a whole thing that's evolved because the predominant culture doesn't drink. You know what I mean? And so they all have their soda.
They have soda.
And they have mixed like mocktails, and they have the whole drive-throughs. You get a cookie, and the cookies are really good, and you get all the soda, fancy soda drinks, like
the crumble cookies. It's so good. I love it all.
The drive-through soda places are crazy. That is that's a business investment. That goes
we need
so
some
well.
of those in LA.
Yes, you do.
No, look,
drive-through soda.
We went to that one that had the coffee, like it was like a Starbucks. It wasn't Starbucks, but it was coffee, and then it was soda, so you could get coffee for you, soda for your kids. And everything was good.
I love that. I love that. I'm a big Diet Coke fan, so when I heard about this, I was like, I need to get in on this.
No, try it. Like mix them all together. It's really interesting.
Well, you infuse it's like a grape. Like you have a grape. Like a grape flavoring in your Dr. Pepper.
Oh my
gosh. Or you have a grape flavoring in your, so it's not just a cherry Coke. It's so many different things in it. But they make, it's like a mojito, but they toss it all in a Dr. Pepper instead.
Oh, wow.
Things like that.
Okay.
Gotta try it.
That's the dirty.
I think it would be good. I think it'd be big here.
It's lovely.
I think it would too. Like especially after people found out about it. Like I feel like outside of Utah, a lot of people hadn't heard of this before.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Now, looking back at your time on the show, is there anything that you'd change or any regrets that you have, or are you just embracing this new chapter?
No regrets, because I like who I am today, and that's because of my past. And I am who I am because I was married to Kody, because I had the sister wife, because I lived polygamy, and
we had these amazing children. I mean,
so
it's like
phenomenal.
I feel like I'm the same. Like
Never would change a thing.
We are who we are. I am who I am because of everything we've done. I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
And look, we really actually set out to make it so that the families could live in peace, right? And I think we helped accomplish that.
I do too.
I mean, we did a lot for the community, I feel like. Yeah. And now we're just showing the flip side of having other choices and being able to make those choices.
Now, speaking of that, looking towards the future, this is my last question, but what is next for both of you? I feel like you're both you seem so happy and vibrant in this new era.
I think anything's possible now.
Yeah, anything and everything is possible.
And every year, I'm always like, wow, what are we going to do? Like, and I'm always like, at the end of the year, I'm like, wow.
We always have more exciting things happen.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
This whole new level of independence, but true independence and safety and security and adventure and all these new things. So many things.